धनञ्जलशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै
गुरवे
श्रीगुरवे
नमः।
नमः।
श्रीचैतन्य
श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं
श्रीगुरुं विष्णुवंश्य
श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्विता च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
हरे राम हरे राम राम राम
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्णा
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे राम
Rama
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
हरे
कृष्ण
हरे हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम 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 हरे
Rama, Hare
हरे
Hare.
Okay, all together. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नमस्कृत्यं
नरं
नरं
चैव
चैव
नरोत्तमं
नरोत्तमं
देवीं
देवीं
सरस्वतीं
सरस्वतीं
व्यासं
व्यासं
ततो
ततो
जयमुदीरयेत्
जयमुदीरयेत्
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु
नित्यं
नित्यं
भागवतसेवया
भागवतसेवये
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति
भवन्ति
नैष्टिकी
नैष्टिकी
कृष्णाय
कृष्णाय
वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय
देवकी नन्दनाय
देवकीनन्दनाय
च
च
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
नन्दगोपाय
गोविन्दाय
नमो
नमो
नमः।
नमः ॐ नमो भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय
ॐ
ॐ
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो
ॐ नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you can stop sharing the screen for a few minutes till we do a quick. Yeah, so we are, and I will be happy if you can switch on your video so that we'll have a personal rapport. Okay, so we are in the seventh chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, titled The Son of Drona Punished. I think we did up to verse number 12. Let's do a quick recap. So, what did the so after Narada Muni left, so Vyasadeva heard all the instructions of Narada Muni. So now the rishis, Saunaka Rishi headed by, I mean, the sages headed by Saunaka Rishi asking a question. So Sudha Goswami, what did Vyasadeva do after hearing the instructions? So yeah, we also discussed how important it is after hearing, discussions on the spiritual matters or how how we have to follow. That's the lesson we can learn from that. So then Sutta Goswami says, yes, Vyasadeva heard the instructions and he started meditation where in a place called Samprashya. So where it is? It is on the
Saraswati.
banks of river Saraswati. Yeah. That is his hermitage over there. So that place is also very famous for all sacrifices. So he sat there for meditation, and before he was meditating, what did he do? He did some purification. He did some archaman. He purified himself, and then he started for meditation. And what did he do on meditation? His mind, generally, there are so many people do different types of meditation, right? So what was Vyasadeva meditating on?
Krishna.
Very simple. Yeah, on the Lord.
Yeah,
He
not
was
a lot. Yeah,
meditating
yeah,
on the
I think
Lord.
I'm not. Yeah, not.
Yeah, so his mind was undisturbed. So, and he was actually performing bhakti. So, and what did he saw? What did he see?
You see,
Both Maya and
symptom of Kali Yuga?
Hmm?
both Lord, Supreme Lord, and also Maya along with that.
Correct. So, what you said, Kangana Mataji, that was previously. In the previous chapter, we saw he meditated and he saw the future Kali Yuga, what's
Yeah.
going to happen. But now, after hearing the instructions from Narada Muni, so what because he said to glorify Krishna, and you can meditate and you can recall all the things, and then you can write Srimad Bhagavatam. That was the instructions given by Narada Muni. So he started meditating on the Lord, but then he could see not just the Lord. All of us also try to meditate the Lord, right? So sometimes we may see some form of the Lord, or mostly we can see Radha Gopinath or whoever deities, Ishta Devata, whoever you are doing prayers, you can meditate on them, or you can see within your mind or in your heart, right? Now he was seeing not just the Lord, he was seeing also all the energies of the Lord, and in specifically he could see Maya Devi, the external energy of the Lord. And he also not only is seeing Maya Devi, he also saw how Maya Devi is under the shelter of the Lord. So that's very important. So the question comes, why did he see Maya Devi also? He was meditating on the Lord, right? So nowhere Narada Muni said you meditate on Maya Devi. He said do bhakti. So bhakti is doing, but why did he see Maya Devi also?
Because
Yeah.
people are thinking that Krishna is also controlled by Maya Devi on the earth in the material world.
No,
Yeah.
Because he thinks
no,
of
he
him.
controls Maya, but he saw through this Maya how souls are getting tormented.
Hmm. So because the fifth verse talks about that.
Mm.
Because how Maya is influencing the Jiva to the separate gunas. How it is influencing us in various modes. So all of us are thinking, even though we know we are the spirit soul, we always are on the platform of the bodily platform, which is an external factor. And that's a temporary. The body doesn't belong to you, right? You got this body when you are born in this life cycle, and you're going to leave it. When you get a next birth, you're not going to take the same body. It could be a different body, right? So, but then when we are in this material world, we are always attached to this body. That's the bodily conception we are having. Everything we relate it to the body. Right. So it is showing to him how Maya Devi is influencing the Jiva in that. Why specifically to Vyasadeva? Because he has so much compassion to the people of the world, for the welfare of the people of the world. That's what Kangana Mataji was mentioning. Previously he was thinking Kali Yuga, what is going to happen? He was in that kind of a mentality. How to help those people in the Kali Yuga. So he was very compassionate. So Lord showed him the vision that how jivas are influenced by the Maya, and which is under the control of the Lord. So how that influence can be broken? How that can be? Because if you go under the shelter of the Lord, then Maya is not going to influence you. So that's the beauty of it. And and also that's how he can distribute the sweetness. See, Lord can be very great. Lord can be great. Lord's greatness and sweetness are there. Everyone can think of the Lord. Even seeing the Virat Rupa, we can see Lord's greatness. Arjuna saw the Virat Rupa, universal form. He felt scared. He felt the Kala Rupa, he felt scared. So the greatness of the Lord it is more of an awe and reverence we can get attached. But the sweetness of the Lord, that's the Madhurya Rasa, how sweet Lord is. That to describe that. So to describe the sweetness of the Lord, his qualities, his pastimes, then how one can meditate on the Lord. So that was the purpose of Vyasadeva to see Maya Devi. So then what happened? Then sixth verse we saw about how people in this material world are full of miseries, how that can be mitigated. So one has to link to the process of devotional service. So that can be cured. So how a disease can be cured? What is the cure for the disease? So
Devotional service.
devotional service, bhakti. So that is called Shakti. So that's the sixth Shakti you get, and then which is more powerful than any other things. It destroys the illusion. So once we get, that chit means what? What is chit?
Mind.
Consciousness.
Mind.
Consciousness. Chit is the consciousness, knowledge.
Knowledge, yes.
Yes. Yes.
So that knowledge, so how that knowledge through Vedic literature. So the seventh was describing that. So simply by oral reception of Vedic literature, one can get the loving devotional service just by hearing. Just by hearing, one can get the devotional service of bhakti. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentioned that bhakti is nothing but prema. Say, not just bhakti, it is the prema, the love for God. That's a devotional, loving service to the God. That sprouts up within the heart of each individuals. And because of that bhakti which sprouts up, what is happening?
You get rid of the material diseases.
Yeah, this is basically material diseases. The seventh verse mentions three things: moha, what is the bhaya? One more thing,
Lamentation.
shoka. Yes, lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. These three things are extinguished, whatever it's coming out. And this is the reason why he is given the task of writing. So, okay, there's one more question which earlier also we discussed. Is the Srimad Bhagavatam written for the first time? And when is this happening? That is also mentioned here. When is this happening? This is happening after Krishna left this world, after he departed from this world, and before Kali Yuga came, before Parikshit meets Kali Purusha. So that's the time when this Srimad Bhagavatam is being compiled by Vyasadeva. All right, are we clear on that? These questions came up many times. But my question is that the first time it is written?
I think it was written before also. So he did
Yeah,
some.
Bhagavatam already there as part of the 18 Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam. But Vyasadeva, while compiling this, now he revised it
Yeah,
in a different mood based on the instructions of his
Narad Muni.
Narada Muni, his spiritual master. He revised Srimad Bhagavatam and focused on highlighting, what to say, the loving devotional service that could sprout the prema. So that's the goal of our life, get the love of God. So that's what he revised it. And not only he did it, what did he do? One more thing he did. He taught the same Bhagavatam to his son Sukadeva Goswami, who was already a self-realized person. So next the question comes, Sukadeva Goswami from the birth, we also mentioned, before the birth itself, he did not want to come because Maya will catch me. So what Krishna said, no, Maya will not catch me. But he was more of an impersonalist, a Brahmavadi. So he was a self-realized person. He was sitting on, spirit soul. He was already a self-realized person. But why? Then the next question comes. Saunaka Rishi is asking to Sutta Goswami, why did already a self-realized person has been taught about this Bhagavatam? Because he is already self-realized. Why do you need it? Why is the soul troubled to read this or hear this big literature? So why it is?
Because of impersonal, he was more inclined towards Brahman rather than Bhagavan.
Yeah, he is more inclined to Brahman. Yeah.
Brahman.
Then why
Yeah.
did he hear? He is more attached to Brahman, no? But why should he
Yeah.
hear that?
He was not satisfied.
Hmm?
Um, it, because yeah, as soon as he heard some of the slokas, right, regarding Potana, and then he got interested, and
Hmm.
that is how he went back to
Yeah.
Sukadeva Goswami, and then he
So
taught
key
him
things.
how.
Yeah, I understand you're saying what you understood. What is that? He was attracted to the qualities of the Lord.
Okay.
Right. So he was attracted. So
Yeah.
even though he's Brahmavadi or attracted to impersonal Brahman, he was attracted to the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So that's why next to the 11th verse, I think 11th verse or 10th verse, talks about, yeah, 10th verse. So that's the Atmarama verse. Atmaram. Atmaram means one who takes pleasure of his self, that is own his spirit soul. So, but though he was an Atmaram, he was attracted. Atmaram generally means, they are situated on the self and they are not interested in anything material. There is no material bondage, but only you had attraction to the pastimes of the Lord. That helped him to get an unalloyed devotional service. So Lord had those transcendental qualities, that can be attractive even to those liberated souls. So Srimad Bhagavatam is covered for 360 degrees. A person who is totally, elevated, liberated person soul are also attracted. Even a person who is in the lowest in the material world, who is full of suffering, he feels, I want to get out of the suffering. What should I do? So for them also, Srimad Bhagavatam is the cure. So bhakti. Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one gets the true loving devotional service. So 11th verse says, Sutta Goswami's son was not only transcendental, he was a dear devotee of the Lord. So he went and studied. So that's the reason why he studied Bhagavatam. So with that, we finished that section of Srimad Bhagavatam history. And the next question, 12th verse, we talk about Sutta Goswami asking Saunaka Rishi, so says that I'm going to now narrate about Parikshit Maharaj, his birth, his activities, how he, renounced all his life, and about his death. I'm going to discuss that. So now again, this question, we already had this question earlier. Why were the sages interested in Parikshit Maharaj?
Because he was very dear to Lord Krishna and his whole life was because of Lord Krishna.
Yeah, exactly. He had connection with Krishna. So the rishis, sages wanted to hear anything which is related to Krishna. They were not interested in Parikshit Maharaj's life. Because in this devotee's life, Krishna is involved. He had a wonderful birth. So then another, death was also there. And they also know that Sukadev Goswami went there and spoke or he recited the Bhagavatam to him. So all these things they were interested. So that's the reason why they went. So now Sutta Goswami starts. Let's go to 13th verse. Any questions till now? Anyone had some clarification or anything? All good? Before we go on to the today's class? All right. So yeah, 13th, 14th. Yes. Prabhu, you only can start when I.
Yep. Hare Krishna. Yada mridhe kaurava srinjayanam virsav ato viragatim gateshu vrikodara vidha gada bhimarsa bhagnoru dande dhritarashtra putre भरतु प्रियं द्रौणर इति समापस्यं कृष्णा सूतानां स्वपदं शरणंसि उपहरद् विप्रयम् एव तस्या जगुसितं कर्म विगर्हयन्ति. Translation. When a respective warrior of both camps, namely the Kauravas and Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destination, and when the son of the Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten up by the club of Bhimasena, the son of Dronacharya, beheaded the five sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered the heads of as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act, and he was not pleased in the least. Purport. Transcendental topics of the activities of Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam begins from the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, where the Lord himself spoke about himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, both the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are transcendental topics of Lord Krishna. The Gita is Krishna Katha, topic of Krishna, because it is spoken by the Lord, and Bhagavatam is also Sri Krishna Katha, because he is spoken about the Lord. Lord Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to be informed of both Krishna Kathas by his order. Lord Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna himself in the garb of devotee of Krishna, and therefore the version of both Lord Krishna and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu are identical. Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in India seriously understand such Krishna Kathas, and then after full realization preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world that will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So, okay, now Sutta Goswami is going back to the Kurukshetra war. So, let me give a small background of this. Oh, yeah. I appreciate people can come up with their videos on. Yeah. So, what happens on the 17th day of the war, of the end of the 17th day of the Kurukshetra war? So, who was the commander? Anyone? Any idea?
Drona was the commander for
That was in the free name. I'm talking about
Bhishma.
17th
Okay.
day.
So Ashwatthama.
Ashwathama? No.
Prabhu.
Huh?
Karna?
Karna. Karna. Karna was on the 17th day. 17th day, Karna has been slain by Arjuna. So I'm not getting to the details of how Karna was slain. But Karna was killed. So there were mainly only 3% were left, three main heads. One is Kripacharya, Kritivarma, and Ashwathama. So they were only there heading back. So they were all heading back. Duryodhana was very angry, but because Karna was his very close friend, right? So he is now dead. So he is angry, but the grief was taking over him. So more than his anger, the sorrow he had, he then started crying, "Oh, Karna," and he was just rolling on the ground. So that was the thing. He was very sad. So the next day morning, 18th morning, so they were all did the crimination to Karna, and then they all started to sit on the chariot and start for the war. So now they have to choose a commander in chief. So he had these three guys. So they were thinking, who should I think? So in his mind, Duryodhana's mind was thinking of having Ashwathama as the next lead. So he was about to announce Ashwathama, and then Ashwathama said, no, you should give it to Salya. You know Salya? So he was actually the brother of Madri, the wife of Pandu. He was actually he was the uncle of Nakula and Sakate. But then Duryodhana tricked him and took him to his camp. And he was the one, Salya was the chariot driver for Karna. But Karna, Salya didn't help him. He had a bitter experience. He and Karna didn't get along well. So that was one of the reasons for Karna also to be killed in the battle. So Salya was chosen to be the commander for the 18th day. So generally 18th day only, Kurukshetra, that was the last day. So then Salya fought with very vigorously, and then he had a very detailed fight with the Pandavas. Had this time, with Yudhishthira. So with Yudhishthira, he was fighting for a long time, and then Yudhishthira slains him. So Salya is also gone. Commander is gone. So what to do now? Now there was also the Saguni was also there. So he was also trying to, fight, help Salya and other things, but then he couldn't manage. Finally, you know, Saguni was also killed in the war. Actually, he was killed by Sagadev. Sagadev kills him. Saguni also dies. And now only a very few soldiers left from the Kauravas. Many of them by this time seeing even Salya dead, this was described very well. If you can read that book by Mahabharat by Dharmadas, that's a very nice book. So, and these stories are all from that which I'm been trying to tell. So, in fact, Yudhishthira and Salya war is explained so well, how much they were fighting, and finally a dart, a big dart is thrown on Salya. It is like a lightning or a thunderbolt coming from the sky, hits Salya and he dies. Then Saguni is killed by Nakula. Then all these people by the time ran away, only few people are there. But the Pandava soldiers, they just cover them, surrounded them. And they were fighting because they are already surrounded by Pandavas. They gave away their life by fighting. Seeing all these things, Duryodhana, he turned back and he ran away. He was run away through the wood, through the bushes, and then finally he went to a lake. So he got and he hid himself under the lake. He had a mystic power. So he can sit inside the lake. So he hid himself into the lake. So these three people, Kirtivarma, Kripacharya, and Ashwatthama, they were left. Then they were looking where Duryodhana is. So they couldn't find Duryodhana and they also fled the war scene. And then they wanted to go. They were looking out for where is Duryodhana, where did he go? So they couldn't find him. They were searching for him for a long place. Then they met on the way Vyasadeva. So they asked Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva said where he would be. He said actually he is in a lake, Dvaipaniya lake. That lake is called Dvaipaniya, and he goes there. He has gone there. So these three people went there, and there they saw Duryodhana's garments there outside the lake. So they knew that he is in the lake, hiding in the lake. So then Kripacharya talks. He said, you don't worry. We are there to fight. We will not give up this battle. We'll fight against the Pandavas. We will be victorious. All pep talks he was giving. But Duryodhana, for a long time, he didn't speak also. They were not sure whether he's still there. But after a long time, Duryodhana says, "Oh, I'm very grateful for all three of you. I know you are a great heroes. We can fight for that. We can fight with the Pandavas. We can take victory over them. We will not give away." All these talks, now Duryodhana is also speaking, sitting inside the lake. But he says, "I'm now taking rest. I'm very tired. I want to rest. Tonight, let's rest. And tomorrow we will go to the war and we will be victorious." Then Ashwatthama now speaks. He says, "Yes, we will not leave those Pandavas, because he had a revenge to take. Because again, his father Dronacharya was also tricked. That's what he felt. He was also tricked. They said a elephant named Ashwatthama died. Ashwatthama died like that. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, and then he thought his son died, and then he went for meditation. How his head was cut, all those things happened. He felt he was tricked. So he wanted to take revenge. He said, "I will see that tonight itself I will try to get the heads of the five Pandavas and then submit to you," like that. So, and then all three of them leave this place. So when Ashwatthama and Yudhishthir Maharaj, they were speaking, they were, that's a lake and then it's a forest, In the side, there were many hunters who were hunting all day, and then in the evening, they want to wash themselves, they want to drink some water. So they also come to the lake. But these people didn't see the hunters coming. So, but the hunters heard the Ashwatthama speaking with Duryodhana. Then they felt, oh, Duryodhana is hiding here. Maybe if we go tell Yudhishthir Maharaj, Where Duryodhana is, they may give us a lot of wealth. We can become a wealthy, rich person. So let's go there. And then they go to the Yudhishthira, the Pandavas camp. So when they go to Pandavas camp, there, after the evening in the day, they all come back to the camp. And then these hunter go and tell where they are hiding. He is hiding in the lake. So then Pandavas, along with Krishna, they come over there. And then, it seems it is said the lake in which he entered, not even one drop of ripples. Any if you put a small stone, there will be a lot of ripple and all. It was very silent. No one can believe that there's a person below that. So such a way, Duryodhana was sitting under the lake. So Yudhishthira Maharaj comes and tells so many things. Come on, you have to come. You cannot be a coward. You have to come and fight the war with us. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj don't want to, unless he's totally defeated and he says, you guys have won, I don't want to take victory on my own. So Yudhishthira is so dharmic in nature. He doesn't want to take a victory on his own. Even though this guy Duryodhana ran away from the war. So he says, come, come. And he also offered him, you can fight against one person only, not for entire all of us. You can choose. You can only choose who you want to fight. Right. So there's so much he spoke. And then finally he provoked him so much. Then Duryodhana, who was under the lake, he comes out. He says, yes, you are saying that, yes, I can be very ferocious. I can fight with Bhima because he is also, because these people are the maze fighters with the Gada and other thing. And both are the disciple of, whose disciple were there? Who taught
Balram.
them?
Balaram.
Balaram,
Balram.
very good. Yes. So Balaram, actually it was said Duryodhana had a very skillful person. He was a very skillful person. And in fact, Balaram taught more of the skills to him, to Duryodhana, because he thought once Bhima died, because Bhima once was poisoned and other things. So he thought Bhima has died. No, all the skills, whatever I know, I have to teach. Then he taught more to Duryodhana. Duryodhana was one of his favorite disciples. So, but Bhima was very powerful. Another thing, Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. So, and then they agreed to the mace fight, Gada Yuddha. So they started the war, and we all know the story how it happened. And then that Gada was hit below the belt, right? Any war with the Gada is to be held above the belly, navel, above not below the belt. But he hit him on the shoulder, on the thighs, because his life was there. So there is another story for that, that once Gandhari wanted to give him more power. Gandhari was very powerful woman. She was so chaste, Then she wanted to give full of power to his son. He said, once with my chaste eyes, if I see you, because all the time she ties her eyes, right? Her husband was blind, then she tied her eyes. So she said, you come to me, and one night, Duryodhana goes naked before his mother. So, but Krishna, who's mystic, he knows what's happening. So he comes in between when he was going. He said, what is this? You are going nude before your mother. How can you do that? Whatever it is, even though she's a mother, you cannot go. No, no, I'm going to get my full power from her. No one can kill me. Like, no, I mean, that power will be there. I'll be always victorious. No, no, at least you should cover your personal part, private parts. And also, he puts this small cover to that. And then Gandhari opens it. But she was also shocked to see him with having. He said, I wanted to you be nude, but why is that you're come with that? All these things happen. So his life, that's the reason why his he was hit below the thigh and his life was there, and he died. He fell down of the war, and Bhima win. But when this happened, Balaram was not happy with Bhima hitting below. He said, you have done what to say, you have done, which is not, it was not an aesthetic way of doing. It is not below the ethics of for you to hit him below the belt. But Krishna somehow subdued Balaram. He said, and so many others said some reason, like he already made a vow that he will hit the thighs of Duryodhana, because Duryodhana pulled Draupadi and said, please sit on my lap. That time only he said, I will hit on his thighs and take the blood from his thighs. So he has whatever he kept his vow to Draupadi. That's the reason why he hit. So many reasons people say. So that's how, Duryodhana was hit and he fell down. He was about to die. So he was lying there after that. And the Pandavas leaves that place. So meantime, Kripacharya, Kirtivarma and Ashwatthama. So they were going, to see what. Then Ashwatthama says, now let's get into the camp of the Pandavas and kill all the Pandavas over there. And Kirtivarma and Kripacharya, they said, no, it is night time. We are not supposed to do war. We cannot fight the war in the night. But Ashwatthama was hellbound on that. So he could not sleep. They said, let's all sleep now and morning fresh we go for the war. Ashwatthama's mind was always, he said, if you guys also not coming, I'm going. Then he started to going towards the Pandavas camp. So meantime, the Pandavas left and they went to the Kauravas camp to have a look what's there, because now Duryodhana is nearly killed. So they wanted to go there and they were looking. So Pandavas camp, not many people were there to protect. So Ashwatthama goes there. But he sees someone, like what to say, um, uh, with all the ashes and other thing with snake in the neck, and then he is coming to fight with Ashwatthama. So there's a fight between this person and Ashwatthama. Then Ashwatthama, after a very long fight with him, then he understood that person he was fighting is Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva he was fighting. Then he was actually a devotee of Lord Shiva. Then he started praying to him, Lord Shiva. So instead of fighting. So Lord Shiva was very much pleased, and then he gave him a special sword. Okay, you take this sword. So because Lord Shiva is meant for annihilation, so he gave him the sword. Okay, go. And then he used the sword. He went inside the Pandavas camp and he was unleashing every person there. He was just killing everyone. And Drishnadumma was there. He was also sleeping. He woke up and then he fought with Ashwatthama. So Ashwatthama finally slays Drishnadumma. Then slaying everyone, then he was looking where the Pandavas they were there. And then he could see 5 of them sleeping over there. So he said, oh, you people are sleeping. He goes there and smashes, cuts all the 5 head of the Pandavas. So he cuts the head of the Pandavas and he's so happy. He said, I have killed the Pandavas now. So war is over. So I've killed all the Pandavas. So then he was so joyful. He said, he wanted to tell this to Duryodhana. Duryodhana will be very happy, that I've killed all the Pandavas. So he was to go. So when he was, going on his chariot back to see Duryodhana, then he was thinking, just with like that, I cannot go tell. Let me go get those heads of those 5 Pandavas and then show it to Duryodhana. So he picks up the 5 heads of the Pandavas who he killed and he goes. But when he is picking up, that time he's seeing they were not Pandavas. They were Upa Pandavas. They were the children of Draupadi, the 5 children of Draupadi. Oh, he was saying, this is not Pandava, this is Upa Pandava. Okay, whatever it is, I have now killed the Pandavas dynasty. So they cannot rule. All these Pandavas children are not there. So they will be lamenting for them. Let me go and show this to Duryodhana. He'll be very pleased. At least he is happy before he is, dying with all that. Because all his brothers are now died. Only he is left. So he go there. He takes those 5 heads and goes to gives it to Duryodhana. So that's what is this verse is talking about, And the dead warriors deserved, and when the son of Dhritarashtra fell, lamenting, his spine broke because Bhishma Dev hit. That story I already told. And then the son of Dronacharya beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered as the head as the prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he will be pleased. So they go and they said, yes, victory, victory. We have killed those Pandavas men in their camp. See, I brought the 5 heads and all. So, and Duryodhana also felt hearing that, he thought all the Pandavas are killed. So he took up their head. Oh, Pandavas, you have now been thrashed by my Asvatthama. Then he praised Asvatthama like anything. He said, even your father could not do it. Dronacharya couldn't do it. He was a great, archery king, but he couldn't do it. But you did it, man. Like that, he praised Ashwatthama. Then, when he took the head, he wanted to smash the head. He wanted to smash the Pandava's head. Ashwatthama didn't tell that they were Upa Pandavas. So when he smashed the head, it was so flimsy. He said, I am now about to die. Bhima is hit me. I am in the state of very, without any strength. I am now. Without any strength, I could break this head. I don't think this is the Pandavas. They are someone else. Oh, tell me, who are they? And then Ashwatthama reveals that they are not Pandavas, but they're Draupadi's children. But Duryodhana disapproved it. He said, this is an erroneous act you can do. Killing its child, that too when they are sleeping. You can't do such erroneous act. He was not at all pleased. In fact, he wanted, this Ashwatthama thought that Duryodhana will be very pleased, but then he was so unhappy that, with that thing only he dies. Duryodhana here, he dies. So, okay, next the scene comes is this Draupadi hears what happens to a child, how they are killed. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Okay, so this is the background story of it. Okay, Jai Dharma Prabhu.
माता शिशूनां निधनं सुतानां निशम्य घोरं परिताप्यमाना तदा रुदद्बाष्पाकलाकुलाक्षी तां सान्तवयान् आह किरीटमाली. Draupadi, the mother of the 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears. Trying to pacify her in her great loss, Arjuna spoke to her thus.
Okay, that's a small thing.
Thank you.
So, no, 1 second. So, what was that? Yeah, so she began to cry. Pacify her. Arjuna now speaks. Yes, next, who wants to do? Rakesh Prabhu, you want to read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. तदा शुचस्ते प्रम्रूजामि भद्रे यत् यद्ब्रह्मा बन्धो शिर आततायिनः गाण्डीवमुक्ते रविशिखरैरूपाहरे त्वाक्रम्य यत्स्नायस्यसि दग्धपुत्रा. Translation: O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with the arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. An enemy who sets fire to the house, administers poison, attacks all of a sudden with deadly weapons, plunders wealth or usurps agricultural fields or entices one's wife is called an aggressor. Such an aggressor, though he be a Brahmana or a so-called son of Brahmana, has to be punished in all circumstances. When Arjuna promised to behead the aggressor named Asvatthama, he knew well that Asvatthama was son of a Brahmana. But because the so-called Brahmana acted like a butcher, he was taken as such. And there was no question of sin in killing such a Brahmana son who proved to be a villain.
Yeah. So yes, so what happened now? Arjuna is saying, to pacify his wife Draupadi, Said, I will cut the head. I will present you the head of that Brahmana, the son of Drona. And after criminating your sons, you can take bath standing over the head. All right, next goes to the next verse. Ritu Mataji, want to read?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Iti priyam valgo vichitra jalpehe saha santa vayuchuta mitra sutaha anvadravadam damishtam ugraha danvaha kapidavajo guru putram rathena. Arjuna translation. Arjuna, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Asvatthama, the son of his martial teacher. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is this saying? Now Arjuna, who is guided by infallible Lord, who's a friend and driver, chariot driver.
Chariot.
Yeah. Thus satisfied the dear lady by such statement. So Arjuna made the statement, he made a vow to her saying that I will get your head for him and then you can stand over the head and you can take bath. Right? And getting into chariot to follow Ashwatthama. So actually this is the infallible Lord as friend. So this is the first time is the appearance of Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the first verse. Okay, this is the first appearance of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord enters not as a god. So how Lord is being described here?
The chariot.
As a friend and as a chariot driver. Yeah. So that's that's how it's here. The first appearance of Lord. So Krishna prefers not to be as a supreme personality, but as a servant of his devotee. Right? Vatsalya rasa. So Bhagavatam teaches, the beauty of God's humility. Krishna takes. Generally, people think Lord is very, he's saying you always think of me, do things for me. Everything he's saying like that. But actually, if you see, he is actually he is sold to the devotees. So that's what this shows here. Who's very infallible, but he is as a chariot driver or a friend to his devotees. All right, let's go to the next verse. Kangada Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Tam apatantam savilakshya durad कुमारहोद्विग्मा मनराथेन पराद्रवत् प्रणाम परिपुष्य प्रियं यावद् गमं रुद्रभयद् यथा कः. Translation Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Aswadhama, the murderer of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot, panic stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva. Purport: according to the reading matter, either Kaha or Kaha, there are two references in the Puranas. Kaha means Brahma, who once became allured by his daughter and began to follow her, which infuriated Shiva, who attacked Brahma with his trident. Brahmaji fled in fear of his life. As far as Arka is concerned, there is a reference in the Vamana Purana. There was a demon by the name Vidhyunmali who was gifted with a glowing golden airplane which traveled to the back of the sun and night, disappeared because of the glowing effulgence of this plane. Thus the sun god became angry, and with his virulent rays he melted the plane. This enraged Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva then attacked the sun god, who flew away and at last fell down at Kasi, Varanasi, and the place became famous as Loraka. Lo, Lolarka.
Yeah, okay. Different pastimes Prabhupada mentions in the purport. So the key point is Ashwatthama, who has killed those princes, the 5 princes. So now is aware that Arjuna is chasing him. So he's seeing Arjuna is trying to come along with Krishna. So he is now trying to run away. He's fleeing with his chariot, panic stricken, just to save his life. Right? So that's it. Let's go to the next verse. So who wants to read? Anyone? Ankit Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. यदा शरणम् आत्मानम् ऐक्षत श्रान्तावजिनम् अस्त्रं ब्रह्मा शिरोमेने आत्मातनं द्विजितमः. Translation: When the son of the Brahman Asvatthama saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, nuclear weapon. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the ultimate issue only, when there is no alternative, the nuclear weapon called the Brahmastra is applied. The word Dvijit, Dvij, Dvija Atmahajaha is significant here because Ashwathama, although the son of Dronacharya, was not exactly a qualified Brahmana. The most intelligent man is called a Brahmana, and it is not a hereditary title. Ashwathama was also formally called the Brahma Bandhu or the friend of a Brahmana. Being a friend of a Brahmana does not mean that one is Brahmana by qualification. A friend or son of a Brahmana, when fully qualified, can be called a Brahmana and not otherwise. Since Ashwathama's decision is immature, he is purposely called herein the son of a Brahmana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So what did he do? So when the son of Brahmana, so actually as I said, Ashwatthama, never his word is not used in the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So either it is called the son of Brahmana or with some other way. So here there was no alternative of protection. He releases. Now he is running, in fear that Arjuna is chasing him. So when that panic situation, what he does, he releases the Brahma-sirah. So Brahma-sirah is said to be more powerful than even the Brahmastra. So among the Brahmastra, Brahma-sirah is topmost. Prabhupada in the translation mentions that the topmost or the ultimate nuclear kind of a weapon. So he releases that. And Prabhupada in the purport mentions the word Divijay Maja. So it is significant because even though Ashwatthama is the son of a Brahmana, he is not called as a Brahmana. Ashwatthama had the Asuric mentality. Just for saving himself, he wanted to kill the entire world. So in the coming verses, we'll see how far-welding effect this Brahma-sirah would be having. All right, let's go to the next verse. So, very important point in this verse is, just for self-defense, one is not allowed to kill everyone. Just for you to defend yourself, you cannot randomly kill others also. So that's why when especially, such powerful weapons are given to wrong hands, it's very dangerous. In fact, Dronacharya taught this Brahmastra weapon, how to use them actually to Arjuna only. So actually, Ashwatthama is not much qualified. He had only qualification, he was the son of Dronacharya. So he taught him only this, only to protect himself in a very, very situation, not against any war or something. That's why he gave him, and he also didn't teach him how to retract that. So it's the coming words, it's going to be that. So technology to given to a person without character, technology is good to be used, but if such a is given to someone without character, how disaster it would be. So we are seeing that right in today's also happening. How the war situations are there in different places. People using it left, right, and center, using the technology. So power without a maturity in a person will actually end up in destruction. So that's what that verse lesson one can learn from 19th verse. Okay, let's go to verse number 20.
May I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu in Sanskrit. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. अथोपस्पृश्य स्पर्श्य सलिलं सन्दधे तत्समाहिता अजानपि संहारं प्राणकृच्च उपस्थिते. Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapons. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The subtle forms of material activities are finer than grosser methods of material manipulation. Such subtle forms of material activities are effected through purification of sound. The same method is adopted here by chanting hymns to act as nuclear weapons. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, see, like in the current world, if you see the nuclear weapon or something, it is said to be, very big missiles and other thing would carry that weapon. No, it's a very gross kind of a thing in today's world. But that even the Brahma-sirah is nothing but a more a subtle kind of a thing, just evoked through chanting of hymns that creates this kind of weapons which creates havoc. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Vinay Prabhu, you can read.
Hare Krishna. Tata pradushkritam teja prachandam sarvato disham pranapadam abhiprekshaya vishnum jisnur uvachaha. Translation. Thereupon a glaring light spread in all directions. It was so fierce that Arjuna thought his own life in danger, and so he began to address Lord Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so this verse is talking about what is the effect of this Brahmasira. So it spread glaring light in all direction. It was fearful for Arjuna to own life. Even it is said, this Brahmastra, what was released, okay, it's going to come later on. So it was so fearful seeing that kind of a light. So Arjuna felt the danger. It was threatened for the danger of his own life. So what did he do? So Arjuna, he also has the knowledge of the Brahmastra because his Guru Dronacharya taught him. But then he did not use his own knowledge or something. Oh, I know how to handle this. No, what did he do? He began to address the Lord. So he was taking the instructions from the Lord. Let's go to the next verse. Jayadharma Prabhu.
Arjuna Uvacha Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhakta Nama Bhayankara Tvam Eko Dahyamananam Apavargo Asi Samsrite. Arjuna said, O my Lord Sri Krishna, you are the almighty personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Arjuna was aware of the transcendental qualities of Lord Sri Krishna as he had already experienced them during the Kurukshetra war, in which both of them were present. Therefore, Arjuna's version of Lord Krishna is authoritative. Krishna is almighty and is especially the cause of fearlessness for the devotee. A devotee of the Lord is always fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. Material existence is something like a blazing fire in the forest, which can be extinguished by the mercy of the Lord Sri Krishna. The spiritual master is the mercy representation of the Lord. Therefore, a person burning in the flames of the material existence may receive the rains of mercy of the Lord through the transparent medium of the self realized spiritual master. The spiritual master, by his words, can penetrate into the heart of the suffering person and inject knowledge transcendental, which alone can extinguish the fire of material existence. Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, bro. So, as I said previously, in this canto, there are many prayers coming. So, this is one of the first prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Arjuna's prayers, this 5 verses, 22 to 26. So, these are Arjuna's prayer to Lord. So, he is praying to Lord. So, he says he's praising the Lord. You are the Almighty Personality. Let's go to the verse. Go back to thought. Go to the verse, bro.
Krishna Krishna
Yeah,
Mahabahu.
Krishna Krishna Mahabaho. So he said, Arjuna says, Oh Lord Krishna, Oh Lord Krishna, you are the Almighty for Bhaktanam, for all the devotees. Right? So come back to, yeah. So there is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, you are only, you can instill fearlessness. All the fear, bhaya, can be removed from devotee's heart. You are the only person who can do that. And in this, all the material world, people are in the flames of material miseries. So you can give liberation to all of them. You are the only person. He is glorifying Krishna where? He is full of fear because of seeing the Brahmastra released from Asvatthama, and now he is praying to Lord. So this is again another lesson for us, When we are placed in such situation, our first thing we have to remember is the Lord, protection from him. All right, let's go to the next verse. So, what is Prabhupada mentioning in the purport? Just 1 second, bro. Go back. Go back to the previous verse. The key point in the purport. So, Arjuna has already knows all the transcendental quality of the Lord. So, and then Prabhupada mentioned the devotee of the Lord is always fearless because he knows that Lord will always be protecting them in any situation. So with the material sufferings anyone is getting, Lord will clear them away, extinguish them just by his mercy. And Prabhupada mentioned the spiritual master is the representative of the Lord. So take a shelter of the spiritual master. Therefore, a person burning in the flame of material existence will receive mercy from your spiritual master. That is coming through the Lord. Yeah, Prabhupada highlights the words of the spiritual master that can enter into the heart of suffering person and inject transcendental, which will clear all the material existence. All right. So that's why follow the instructions of a guru and Gauranga. That's the basic principle. Okay, who wants to read?
I can read.
Yes, Mataji.
त्वम् अद्यः पुरुषः सत्सद् ईश्वर प्रकृतिपरः मयं व्युदास्य चिच्चक्त्या कैवत्य स्थिः आत्मानि. Translation Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You are the original personality of Godhead who expands himself all over the creations and is transcendental to material energy. You have cast away the effects of the material energy by dint of your spiritual potency. You are always situated in the eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge. Purport. The Lord states in the Bhagavad Gita that one who surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord can get released from the clutches of the nescience. Krishna is just like the sun, and Maya or material existence is just like the darkness. Wherever there is a light of the sun, darkness or ignorance at once vanishes. The best means to get out of the world of ignorance is suggested here. The Lord is addressed herein as the original personality of Godhead. From him all the other personality of Godhead expand. The all-pervasive Lord Vishnu is Lord Krishna's plenary portion or expansion. The Lord expands himself in innumerable form of Godhead and living being along with his different energies. But Sri Krishna is the original primal Lord from whom everything emanates. The all-pervasive feature of the Lord experience within the manifested world is also a partial representation of the Lord. Paramatma, therefore is included within him. He is the absolute personality of Godhead. He has nothing to do with the actions and the reactions of the material manifestation because he is far above the material creation. Darkness is perverse representation of the sun, and therefore the existence of darkness depends on the existence of the sun. But in the sun, but in the sun proper there is no trace of darkness, as the sun is full of light only. Similarly, the absolute personality of Godhead beyond the material existence is full of bliss. He is not only full of bliss, but also full of transcendental variegatedness. Transcendence is not at all static, but full of dynamic variegatedness. He is distinct from the material nature, which is complicated by the three modes of material nature. He is Parama or the chief, therefore he is absolute. He has manifold energy, and through his divine energies, he creates, manifests, maintains, and destroys the material world in his own abode. However, everything is eternal and absolute. The world is not conducted by the energies or powerful agents by themselves, but by the potent, all powerful with all energies. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, can you go to the verse? So as I said, these five verses, it's very nice to recite or to inhype these verses. So Arjuna is trying to praise, there are few words used here. So first thing he says, Tvam Adeya. So you are the original. So and Prabhupada in the purport highlights, how he is the original. All other forms of Vishnu is coming from Krishna only. So he is the Adi. He is the original. That is one. Then he is said he is the supreme Ishvara. So he is Tvam Adi Purushaha. So he is the original. He is also a person. That's very important here. Enjoying personality. So that's one description. Now second feature he is telling is you're the Ishvara. Ishvara means what? One who
Supreme
controls.
person.
Controller.
Supreme.
Controller. No, supreme controller. He is the controller. Then of what? He is the controller of
Prakriti.
Prakriti.
Prakriti. So he is transcendental to the material nature. Someone cannot be sitting under the material nature and control it. He is the Prakriti Parha. He is transcendental to them. Then the next is he is the master of supreme energy, Maya. So Mayam Vasudaya Chit Satya. So he is the master of the Maya, spiritual energy who cast away the Maya. So he will clear the Maya. Then he is always situated in bliss and knowledge. So there are five things Arjuna highlights or glorifies Krishna here. Okay. So as I said, these are prayers. So he's glorifying the Lord. And then, one important thing, okay, I'll come to that at the end of the prayer. How a prayer should be. Yes, Nikita Mataji. Nitkati Machate. Next verse.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Nitikati.
Krishna.
Yeah.
सा एव जीवलोकस्य मायामोहितचेतसा विधस्ते स्वेन वीर्येण श्रेयो धर्मादिलक्षणम्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And yet, though you are beyond the purview of the material energy, you execute the four principles of liberation characterized by religion and so on for the ultimate good for the conditioned souls. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, descends to the manifested world without being influenced by the material modes of nature. He is eternally beyond the material manifestations. He descends out of his causeless mercy only to reclaim the fallen souls who are captivated by the illusory energy. They are attacked by the material energy and they want to enjoy her under false pretexts. Although in essence the living entity is unable to enjoy, one is eternally the servitor of the Lord, and when he forgets this position, he thinks of enjoying the material world. But factually, he is in illusion. The Lord descends to eradicate this false sense of enjoyment and thus reclaim conditioned souls back to Godhead. That is the all merciful nature of the Lord for the fallen souls. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what is he mentioning here? So in the previous verse, he said, you with under your protection, we can overcome the Maya. And now he says, you are beyond it. You are beyond the purview of material energy. So you execute the four principles of liberation. What are they? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So what for? So for the ultimate good for all the conditioned souls.
Mm.
So you devise many plans. Prabhupada highlights, the mercy of the Lord highlights a descends to manifest the world without being influenced by the modes. So he descends out of costless mercy to reclaim the fallen soul who are sunk in this material world. The material world is the material energy is fully attacking the jivas. So Krishna is the only protection for us. So he provides many kind of a plans to us to deliver from this material world. Different ways in which he does leela to deliver all these people, ensuring everyone gets an opportunity to be liberated from this world. Right? Like we can have people in a very high skyscrapers. Tall buildings are there. So if something fire happens, how do people escape? So there are separate fire exit stairs, and then there are drills for that. People do all those things. So similarly, Krishna provides different path for us to help in suffering, to escape from this material sufferings. All right, let's go to the next verse. Rakesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. तथायं चावतारस्ते भूयो भारजिहीर्षया स्वानां चानन्यभावानं नुध्यानाय चासकृत. Translation: Thus you descend as an incarnation to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees and are constantly rapt in meditation upon you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. It appears that the Lord is partial to his devotees. Everyone is related with the Lord. He is equal to everyone, and yet he is more inclined to his own men and devotees. The Lord is everyone's father. No one can be his father, and yet no one can be his son. His devotees are like his kinsmen, and his devotees are his relations. This is his transcendental pastime. It has nothing to do with mundane ideas of relations, fatherhood, or anything like that. As mentioned above, the Lord is above the modes of material nature, and thus there is nothing mundane about his kinsmen and relations in devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, Arjuna is trying to highlight, how much, divine incarnation, Lord's descent on this material world to remove the burden in this world. And he benefits all the friends, especially devotees, exclusively for devotees, who are always, in rapt attention of the Lord, always meditating the Lord, always remembering the Lord. So Prabhupada highlights in the purport that people may think, Lord is more biased to some people, he is not biased to others, but he is actually equal to everyone. but he has more inclination towards his devotees, because their own life they are sacrificing for him. So Lord is actually here mentions that he is above the modes. So lesson what we can understand is Lord personally enters, to save the devotees who in the struggle. It doesn't mean that devotees doesn't get any suffering. They get some suffering. They are there based on we know that because it's of our past karmas, right? But still, Lord in different way handles it for a devotee, right? Let's go to the next verse. 26. This is the last verse of who has not read Arjuna's prayers can read this verse. Ankit Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Kim idam swit kutuveti deva deva na vedmayaham sarvato mukham ayati teja padama dadunam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O Lords of Lord, how is that? How is it that this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand it. Purport. Anything that is presented before the personality of Godhead should be so done after due presentation of respectful prayers. This is the standard procedure, and Sri Arjuna, although an intimate friend of the Lord, is observing this method for general information. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So as I said, this is the Arjuna's prayer. So here, what he's saying is the main theme of his he was fear because of the Asvatthama released the Brahma-sirah, right? But he did not, oh, I'm fearful, Krishna, protect me. He didn't directly tell that. What did he do? He first glorified the Lord. So, 4 verses out of the 5 verses, 4 verses, he glorified the Lord. First, glorify before presenting a problem. So, that's where the lesson we need to learn from here. Proper etiquette, proper humility, proper respect, all the things are necessary before we seek Lord's mercy. Lord's mercy is always there. It need not be we ask and Lord give it. It is always there. Lord's mercy is there for a devotee. That's what Prabhupada in the previous purport highlights, right? But then there is an etiquette. We also should tell to the Lord. So, in fact, that's what we say, no, right? We know that Draupadi, when she was in trouble, when she was disrobed, when she was shouting, holding one sari in one hand and then asking for help. So, but Krishna didn't come immediately. Even Lakshmi Devi is asking, oh, your devotee is crying. Why don't you go and help her? No, no, let her come out. Now she puts both her hand up. She feels that I am not the controller, someone else is the control. Then Krishna comes immediately, right? We all know even in Gajendra Prabhu how Lord came. It is said, it is described, he flew more faster than Garuda. He asked Garuda to go that very fast, and he came before Garuda. It is described. Some acharyas mentioned that. So what I'm saying here is our prayer. Lord is there. Our prayer, even intimate friend like Arjuna, he maintained the decorum. He is a friend. Arjuna is actually a friend, even a chariot driver, you know. But he shows the decorum of how we should uh, uh, get any problem when we want to ask the Lord for anything. All right. So I already moved through. So anything presented, that's what Prabhupada highlights. Anything presented before the Lord should be done after due respectful prayers. This is the standard procedure. And Arjuna, although an intimate friend, observed this. All right. Yeah. Yes, Radha Raman Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Vedatam Drona Purtasya Brahmanam Astram Pradarशितम् Neavaso Ved Sangharam Pranabad Upastiti. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Know from me that this is the act of the son of Drona. He has thrown the hymns of nuclear energy Brahmastra, and he doesn't know how to retract the glare. He has helplessly done this, being a friend of imminent death. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada by A.C. Bhaktivinoda Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada, the Brahmastra is similar to the modern nuclear weapon manipulated by atomic energy. The atomic energy works wholly on total combustibility, and so the Brahmastra also act. It creates an intolerable heat similar to the atomic radiation, but the difference is that atomic bomb is a gross type of nuclear weapon, whereas the Brahmastra is a subtle type of weapon produced by chanting hymns. It is a different science, and in the days gone by, such science was cultivated in the land of Bharatvarsha. The subtle science of chanting hymns is also material, but it has yet to be known by the modern material scientist. Subtle material science is not spiritual, but it has a direct relationship with the spiritual method, which is still subtler. A chanter of hymns knew how to apply the weapons as well as how to retract it. That was perfect knowledge. But the son of Dronacharya, who made use of this subtle science, did not know how to retract. He applied it, being afraid of his imminent death, and thus the practice was not only improper but also irreligious. As the son of Brahmana, he should not have made so many mistakes, and for such gross in negligence of duty, he was to be punished by the Lord himself. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, this is the first verse the Lord speaks in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Supreme Personality Godhead said, this, you are fearing this Brahmastra, this one is actually released from the son of Drona. So he has thrown based on the hymn. So Prabhupada highlights how subtle these weapons are. And he also, the key thing is, which I already mentioned, he did not know how to retract this weapon. So he released it, this weapon. He has helplessly done. Why? Because he is fearing of his death. All right. I think this purport is understandable, whatever Prabhu read. So because of his death, he was trying to save himself. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Shomya Mataji, you want to read?
Prabhuji, I had a question, just curiosity on Brahmastra and the
Can we hold the question to the
Yes,
end,
sure.
Mataji? Yeah.
I can try to read as well.
Yeah, please,
I'm
please.
reading after a while.
Yeah, try everyone. We are all,
Yeah.
all in the same boat. Don't worry.
Okay, sure. Nahasyaन्यतमं किञ्चिदतस्त्रं प्रत्यवकर्षणं जाहस्त्रतेज उन्नतमस्त्रतोऽज्ञो हास्त्रतेजसा. Translation: O Arjuna, only another Brahmastra can counteract this weapon. Since you are expert in the military science, subdue this weapon's glare with the power of your own weapon. Purport: for the atomic bombs, there is no counter weapon to neutralize the effects. But by subtle science, the action of a Brahmastra can be counteracted, and those who were expert in the military science in those days could counteract the Brahmastra. The son of Dronacharya did not know the art of counteracting the weapon, and therefore Arjuna was asked to counteract it by the power of his own weapon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in the previous verse, Krishna, mentioned what is the cause for this glare. Arjuna was fearful of the bright glare, what happened. So Krishna said that is due to this Brahmastra which Asvatthama released. Now, to control that, what he has to do? Krishna is now giving him the solution. This verse gives the solution. So you are an expert in the military science. Now you can counteract this Brahmastra by sending another powerful Brahmastra on your own, because Ashwatthama doesn't know how to retract the wall. So we know in the present world also all these weapons, missiles are sent. There are radar system to deliver counteracting weapon to, to clash. So similar thing here now. Krishna is asking him to counteract with another weapon, another Brahmastra. Let's go to the next verse. Ritu Mata, you want to read? Verse 30.
Vayonam Voyodase Shar Sarvate.
No, I think that's not the one.
Okay. No, text 29. Sutta
Sorry.
Vacha. Right, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Text
30,
29.
29. Yeah. Sorry, by mistake.
Sutta Vacha. Shrutva Bhagavata Prokratam Phalgunha Paraviraha Saprashtvastam Parikramya Brahmastram Sandeha. Translation. Sri Suta Goswami said, hearing this from the personality of Godhead, Arjuna touched water for purification, and after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna, he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one.
Yeah.
Krishna.
So yeah, after hearing the solution from Krishna, what did Arjuna do? So he touched the water for purification, that archament he did, and he circumambulated the Lord. He went
Krishna.
around the Lord, and he
Cast his Brahmastra.
he cast his Brahmastra. He left his Brahmastra to counteract the other one. Let's go to the next verse.
I read it, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Samhayatannayanam abhasam tejasi shara samvrate avrate rodashikam cha vavradet rakhavahine. Translation. When the rays of two Brahmastras combined, a great circle of fire like the disk of sun covered all outer space and the whole firmament of planets. The heat created by the flash of a Brahmastra resembles the fire exhibited in the sun globe at the time of cosmic annihilation. The radiation of atomic energy is very insignificant in comparison to the heat produced by Brahmastra. The atomic bomb explosion can at most blow up one globe, but the heat produced by Brahmastra can destroy the whole cosmic situation. The comparison is therefore made to the heat at the time of annihilation. Thank
Okay.
you.
Now these two verses 30 and 31, I was going to explain what happened when both the Brahmastra interacted. So it was when the rays of two Brahmastra combined, it was a great, it was more circle of fire. So it was like something like a sun, two suns hitting against each other. So it's not only affected at that place, it covered all the outer space also. And the whole, the planets, all the planet were having a very drastic effect. So everyone in the three worlds, were feeling the heat which was coming out of this Brahmastras. The heat produced whether can destroy the whole cosmic situation. The comparison is made something like, when the annihilation is taking place. At the end of the day of Brahma, when the annihilation taking place, all the lower planetary system is burning fire. So it is something like, it was compared to that, like the time of annihilation. Go to the next verse, Prabhu. Vinay, Prabhu, you can read it.
Visvastra tejastu tayos trilokan pradahan mahat dayamanaha prajaha sarvaha samvartakam amam sata. Translation: all the population of the three worlds was scorched by the combined heat of the weapons. Everyone was reminded of the Samvartaka fire which takes place at the time of annihilation. The three worlds are the upper, lower, and intermediate planets of the universe. Although the Brahmastra was raised on this earth, the heat produced by this combination of both weapons covered all the universe, and all the population on all the different planets began to feel the heat excessively compared it to that of the Samvattaka fire. No planet, therefore, is without living beings, as less intelligent, materialistic men think.
Okay. So yeah, we already covered this, So it was something, the scorching heat was compared to the time of annihilation. Let's go to the next verse. Who wants to read? Jay Dharma Prabhu? Anyone else want to read? Just put up your hand.
Thank you, Guru. Prajopadravam alakasya loka vyaktikaram chatam matam cha vasudevasya sanya harjarjunodvayam. Thus, seeing the disturbance of the general opulence and imminent destruction of the planets, Arjuna at once retract both Brahmastra weapons as Lord Krishna desired. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The theory that the modern atomic bomb explosions can annihilate the world is childish imagination. First of all, atomic energy is not powerful enough to destroy the world. And secondly, ultimately, it all rests on the supreme will of the Supreme Lord, because without His will or sanction, nothing can be built up or destroyed. It is foolish also to think that the natural laws are ultimately powerful. Material nature's law works under the direction of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says that the natural laws work under His supervision. The world can be destroyed only by the will of the Lord and not by the whims of tiny politicians. Lord Sri Krishna desired that the weapons released by both Drauni and Arjuna will be withdrawn, and it was carried out by Arjuna at once. Similarly, there are many agents of all the powerful Lord, and by his will only can one execute what he desires. Very good.
No, thank you, bro. So yeah, so what happens after Arjuna, counteracted the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama? Now he retracted both of them. So he saved the entire, the cosmic destruction to happen. So again, Prabhupada highlights anything it can happen, whether any sufferings or even protection, everything is acting according to the will of the Lord. So the world can be destroyed only by the will of the Lord. The world can be protected by the will of the Lord. Let's go to the next verse.
Mayadhyakshena Prakriti.
Who's there? Only two of you are there. Kangana
I can
Mataji.
read
Yes,
Prabhu.
Ankit Prabhu. Yeah.
Tata asadya tadasa darunam gautami sutam babandharmasa tarmakasya pashum rashanaya yatha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper, dexterously arrested the son of Gautami and bound him with ropes like an animal. Purport: Ashwathama's mother Kripi was born in the family of Gautama. The significant point in this sloka is that Ashwathama was caught and bound up with ropes like an animal. According to Sridhar Swami, Arjuna was obliged to catch this son of a Brahmana like an animal as part of his duty. This suggestion by Sridhar Swami is confirmed in the later statement of Sri Krishna. Ashwathama was a bona fide son of Dronacharya and Kripi, but because he had degraded himself to a lower status of life, it was proper to treat him like an animal and not as a Brahmana. Jai
Okay.
Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, yeah, what happened here is after Arjuna retracted Ashwathama's weapon. So they caught Arjuna. They caught Ashwathama. They arrested him and bound him with the ropes like an animal. The important thing here is said, Arjuna, how angry he was with this red ball, two red ball of copper. All right. Yeah, it's mentioning about Ashwathama's mother. Her name was Kripi, born in the family of Gautama Rishi. But even though he was son of Drona and Kripi, who's coming from a great lineage, great lineage, Brahmanical, but he degraded himself to lower status of life. Why do you think he degraded to his lower status of life?
Because of association he had.
Exactly. And he is treated like an animal, not as a Brahmana. Let's do another verse. Kangana Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. शिविराय सन्तं रज्वा बद्ध्वा रिपुं बलात् प्रहार्जुनं प्रकुपितो भगवान् अम्बुजे कसनः. Translation Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. After binding Aswadhama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, looking on with his lotus eyes, spoke to Arjuna in an angry mood. Purport Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Both Arjuna and Lord Sri Krishna are described here in an angry mood, but Arjuna's eyes were like balls of red copper, whereas the eyes of the Lord were like lotus. This means that the angry mood of Arjuna and that of the Lord are not on the same level. The Lord is transcendent and thus he is absolute in any stage. His anger is not like the anger of a conditioned living being within the modes of qualitative material nature. Because he is absolute, both his anger and pleasure are the same. His anger is not exhibited in three modes of material nature. It is only a sign of his bent of mind towards the cause of his devotee because that is his transcendental nature. Therefore, even if he is angry, the object of anger is blessed. He is unchanged in all circumstances. Ribol.
Yeah. So Arjuna is finished his work. He arrested him. And now he wants to take him back to their camp. So here Prabhupada highlights both Arjuna and Krishna, both were in a very angry mood. So here previous verse said, red ball of copper eyes. Arjuna's anger is described in the previous verse, red ball of copper eyes. Here it's looking here, even though Krishna is looking with this lotus eyes. So even in anger mood and spoke to Arjuna in an angry mood. Again, so that shows both were angry. So yeah, Prabhupada highlights that. In his purport, Arjuna's eyes were there, whereas the eyes of the lords were looking like lotus. So it means that only Arjuna is angry, not Krishna is angry. No, it's not that both are very angry. So is both absolute, his anger and pleasure all looks the same. Because he is not influenced by the three modes of material nature. That's the key point here. All right, it's 8:51. I want to stop here. So Mataji had a question, but afterwards, why I want to stop is we can discuss few points about Ratha Yatra because that's currently there. So want to share something or anyone we can discuss on that. And Sunday there's a Ratha Yatra here at Liverpool. So those who are interested, please join. Now you can stop sharing the screen, Prabhu. Yes, Soumya Mataji, you had a question. If by knowledge, I'm not an expert in Brahmastra.
Uh, no, it's very, interesting. Brahmastra, we are saying directly as nuclear weapon, which must be. But have they described somewhere that, so the qualities of Brahmastra? That's why we are saying it's a nuclear weapon. That's why we are saying.
Yes, it is actually a more advanced system than nuclear weapon. I think in Purana somewhere it all describes, but I'm not sure there. Whatever description and whatever I heard, it is more of a subtle weapon. Your today's world, it's more of a gross. Whereas this Brahmastra will go specifically and attack people.
Mm.
So in fact, even after this, once again, Ashwatthama is going to release the Brahmastra. Specifically, we know that he is going to focus only on the womb of Uttara. And he specifically sent one more Brahmastra to kill only the Pandavas. So they are for specific targeted approach.
Yes.
Maybe if anyone has more knowledge on that, yeah, welcome. Maybe I can try to find out. So these are all subtle based on the mantras. People tell mantras. In fact, those days in the ancient Vedic times, even when someone is doing a sacrifice, yajna, the fire is lit by a mantra.
Yes.
Right. So, and this is not just everyone knows these kind of techniques, these things. These are taught in a proper way and given only to key persons like Arjuna, like that. In fact, there is another story where Ashwatthama, there is another story where Ashwatthama, character of Ashwatthama is highlighted. Where Ashwatthama goes to Krishna and he learned this technique of releasing the Brahmastra. He learned the Brahmastra. So he goes to Krishna and he says, see, I can teach you this technique of the Brahmastra, right? So I will teach you that, but I need something from you. I want your Sudarshan Chakra. So Krishna says, I don't want to learn Brahmastra from you. Why should I give me Sudarshan Chakra? So he had that Asuric mentality. So anyhow, it may not be the answer to your question, but what I'm saying is these are some of the very subtle kind of a weapon which people have, very powerful. So it is the weapon, the mantra, which is the one. It could be something like the same arrow, bow or arrow, but the mantra they say and that release, and that creates the destruction.
It's like a
So
cosmic
it is
energy.
not the kind of a missile which is 50 feet long, 20 feet wide, and you add so much, what to say, the what RDX or whatever, explosive materials in that, or not create that kind of a multiple weapons. So these are weapons where they have the hymns, the Vedic hymns. That's what Prabhupada mentions in the purport. They have the hymns, that specific mantra mentioned in a particular way, and then it is released. So that is my knowledge. All right, let's go to Ratha Yatra. Just people want to share anything about Ratha Yatra. Last week, I think there was Ratha Yatra at Chesnock, Hunter Valley. Right? I just want to know what do you understand significance of Ratha Yatra?
God Himself is coming out to see His devotees.
Okay.
It was very nice Yatyatra, Prabhuji, in
Thank
Cessnock.
you. Thank you.
We enjoyed it a lot.
I attended the last year's one, Prabhuji, so
Yeah.
the food very, very beautiful. It was my
Yeah. Yes,
experience.
Prabhu. I also attended the last year one, Prabhu.
Yeah. Please attend wherever possible. It's when you're in Sydney. Sorry.
Last
So how
year
many
in
of you know
Pastor.
the story of this?
Gundicha temple story, right?
Yeah. No, not just
Gundicha temple.
Gundicha, about Jagannath Puri, how Lord came and why Lord is in that form.
I
Yeah,
think it was
there are
when Mother.
Yes, Prabhu, Radharam, bro.
Prabhu, as of I know that it started in Nilanchar when the king of Puri, he
Mhm.
got he want to he was make so many temples, but he's not happy. So Lord has come to his dream and he tell to king that I am situated in Nilachar Parvat. I'm situated over there in a form of Neel Madhav. You go and see me over there. The Vishnu that I think so he can't go, so he sent his Brahmanas. He sent his priest to go and see what's the Neel Madhav form is that, which Lord so told me to come and see that. So he sent his Brahmana to see that, and that Neel Madhav deity is worshipped by locals, what you call that, Bhils in that area. So they worship that. They don't allow anyone to go and see that once. So the king's Brahman, what he planned, he marry with the uh, uh, what you call king's
Daughter.
daughter of them, and he told, I want to see Neel Madhav. And but daughter said that my father will not allow to go because it's only our community can go there and worship them. So then he tell, I want to. Then daughter insists to father that he want to see. So they take him. Okay, I will take you to the Anil Mada, but you have to be blindfolded. I can't take you with the bare eyes. So they blindfold them, and then what he to plan, the king's priest, he just drop it out, see some seeds on the way, so that he can follow that and see where's the way going on. And when he saw that Nil Madhav, he just mesmerized after seeing that. And then the king of that village, he came down, and the priest go back to king and ask him that follow the sesame seeds, maybe it's grown right now and we can see that. But until the Vishwa, I think so, king Vishwakarma or
King is Indraduma.
Indradumna, when he reached over there, already the Nil Madhav is just disappeared.
Yeah.
So he start crying, what I done. The king, Lord comes in my dream, and then it's everything is gone away. So then so Akashvani happened that don't be cry for this one. You just go to the bank of Puri, and there is a log coming on where in which you can see Shankh Gada and everything. Just take that log and make a form of Mai. So they take this one. They go. King goes to the banker of Puri Puri Sea. They find that log, but no one can pull that one. Then again they will call that whole community to come and collect that one. They came, and then they take it out from the sea. But when they want to make the deities with the Lord deity, no one can make with deities form either with the what you call that, saw or anything. So again they can't find, and then Lord Vishwakarma take a form of Brahmana, and he came to king and tell, I will do that one, but I want a one promise that 21 days no one will open the door, and I will make that one no one will disturb me. When it's finished, I will come out and give you the deity's form. So Lord is agreed. He goes to Gundicha temple and lock the door from inside and start making the deity's form. But after I think 5 or 7 days, the king's wife, the queen doesn't hear the any sound. So think maybe Brahmana has died or something. So just go or open that one. At least just check it out. Is the Brahmana is good? But when they open the door, it's only three deities form over there: Jagannath Bhagwan, Baldev Bhagwan, and Subhadra. And it's only one. It's only the hands are make and the eyes are big, big ones. So he started, oh, what I done? Then again, kings hear that it's okay. I want to be make this form to be show to the coming generation that I can come in this form for the just play these forms and take it to the make a temp establish these forms in the temple which you have make and worship that starting this one.
Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah, you covered a lot of points here. Very nice. Yeah. So the king was Indraduma, and the Brahmana was called Vidyapati, and the people who were praying the Nila Madhav. So they were, in the forest, the deity was there. Yeah. And I think his name was Vishnu Vasu, I think, the tribal head. So his daughter is the one Vidyapati married, and he found out where Nila Madhav was there, and he told the king. And the king went, he couldn't find them. But he heard only the voice. He said, I will come in a form of a daru. In daru means wood. So God actually, it is said, can be in 8 different forms. He can be in a what to say, a stone form, stone or a marble form. He can be in a wood form. He can be in a metal form. Then he can be in a picture, painting, what to say, in the sand form. Huh? And also, he can be in your mind. So 8 forms. So this is one. So the form Jagannath, they are said to be a Daru Brahma form. So as Prabhu rightly said, so Vishnu ka Vishwakarma come. So but why this form? So it is said another story there. Why this form? Only the eyes, if you see there, only the eyes. You can't see his hand or legs. So it is said this form, even though we all feel that someone can accept prasad only when you are having a hand or something. Someone can walk only we are having legs. So to prove, it is said Krishna can take in anything in any from any of his senses, right? So that's why Jagannath Prasadam is so famous. So he accepts all the prasad. You don't find that hands are when they are made only is more of wide eyes, and then it is said Krishna, it is said his eyes are always open. He doesn't even blink, right? So he wants to see only the good in the people. That's what he said. No, this form, what I'm saying, there's a story for that. Once there was a eclipse. So from Dwaraka, Lord along with all his, he's a king of Dwaraka. So they come to the eclipse to Kurukshetra. So when the gopis heard, Lord is coming to Kurukshetra, they all went there. They all went to see him. So they saw him, but they felt that he was more like a king, he was more in the awe and reverence mood. Like what in Vrindavan, he was more of a Madhurya Rasa. So that kind of a thing was there, and then there were discussions going on. So Rohini, the Mataji, who came, along with all the gopis, and also she was when she met all the kings like Devaki, Vasudev, and they are there. So she wanted trying to share how Krishna spent his time in. I'll just spend another few minutes. It's okay? Yeah. So she wanted to share how Krishna was, having the Madhurya Rasa with all the gopis, and that stories she wanted to share with all the Dwarakavasis. So when Rohini was sharing, she wanted to make sure that Krishna or Balaram doesn't come here. So they will, if they hear the stories being told about Vrindavan, they want to immediately go to Vrindavan. So they will not come back to Dwaraka. So they put Subhadra Mai, the sister, outside. You just wait outside, And then when those people are coming, you tell us so that we will stop discussing this story. So then they were discussing. So Subhadra was sitting outside, but she was listening to the story, what is happening inside, sitting outside. And then she also went into the ecstasy. So that with that ecstasy, your hands, legs, everything went inside. Only we can see a bright face with vision going up. And that time, both Balaram, Krishna, they are also coming there and they are seeing what's happening to Subhadra Mai. And they are sitting there and they started listening to those stories. And they also gone into the ecstasy, hearing the story what Rogdi Mata is mentioning. So that form, like how we see Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra now, they were sitting in that form. So that time Narada Muni comes there. We all know Narada Muni comes everywhere. Now he comes there and he sees this form and he was so happy to see the form. And then he praises the Lord and he says, Lord, I want to see this form. So that's the reason why Lord came in that kind of a form in Jagannath. Right? He is in that ecstasy. And Prabhu was mentioning the Gundicha Mandir, which is at the end. If anyone been to Jagannath, you will see on the Grand Road at the end, it is around, I think, 4 or 5 kilometers. So that's where the Radha Yatra happens on the straight road. And Gundicha Mandir is said to be the park or the Vrindavan. So because they were eager to go to Vrindavan, so that play is happening there. Right. So the same Krishna how Krishna became Jagannath. That's I just thought. So pulling the rope, when we go to the Ratha Yatra, if you go to Jagannath Puri, no one is allowed inside, except who are Hindus. Other kind of a religion are not allowed. But this is the mercy of the Lord through He Himself comes out and gives blessings for everyone. He comes out and gives blessing, and then it is said pulling the rope of the Lord means you are pulling the heart. You're pulling Krishna into a heart. So before that, what you have to do is you to clean your heart. So that's what the cleaning of Gundicha Mandir happens before the Lord arrives. So that was actually done. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told how to do that. So it is said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleaned it twice, not just once. So initially the main anarthas goes away, and then the finer dust. So the second time he cleaned for all the finer dust. So similarly, our heart is full of major anarthas, lust, kama, krodha, moha, mada, macharya. All the major lusts are sitting there. So first clean away all those things, and still there are minute dust of anartha sitting. So clean away all, then pull the Lord to your heart. So those possible, please take it as a point. Go and pull the Lord to your heart. I think Sunday is not raining. That's what I've seen. So go have darshan of the Lord at Liverpool on Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for
Thank you, Prabhuji.
extra time.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.